My husband fainted when the baby said his first dada. Daddy! That was the very first word that came out of my son Ethan's mouth. He was barely 9 months old, sitting in his high chair with his little hands covered in carrot puree. I smiled with joy, but the moment the word left his lips so clearly, my husband Mark, who was sitting across the table, went pale. He clutched his chest and without saying a word, collapsed to the floor. The sound of his body hitting the ground echoed through the kitchen. I screamed, rushed to his side, and tried to wake him. Mark! Mark, wake up! Ethan was crying at the top of his lungs in his chair, and I didn't know who to help first. After what felt like endless seconds, Mark opened his eyes, sweating and trembling. No, this can't be, he muttered, his gaze distant. I carried him to the living room and offered him water, insisting we go to the hospital, but he refused. I'm not sick, Claire, he said with a broken voice. It's just, I never expected to hear that. Not from him. I didn't understand. It was supposed to be a happy moment, our son's first word, but instead, Mark was terrified. That night, after Ethan fell asleep, I confronted him. What's wrong with you? Why did you react like that? He's our son. You should be happy. He avoided my eyes. Finally, he stood up and said, I'm not sure he's mine. It felt like the air was ripped from my lungs. How dare you? I screamed, but his face was serious, as if he truly believed that sick doubt. For weeks, Mark changed. He became distant, almost absent. He spoke coldly, barely looked at me, and whenever he held Ethan, his arms were tense, breaking my heart. I swore I had never betrayed him, but his suspicions grew. He has your eyes, Claire, but don't you see? He doesn't look like me. And now he says daddy as if he's calling someone else. One day I found the truth. I was in Mark's office gathering laundry when I saw an envelope hidden in his drawer. It was a letter from his mother, Susan. I recognized her perfect handwriting and the strong perfume she always used on her stationery. It read, I warned you, she was never worthy of you. That child isn't yours, you know it. Open your eyes before it's too late. My anger was immediate. I confronted Susan at her house and she didn't even bother to deny it. I never liked that child. You ruined my son's life and sooner or later he'll realize. I tried to stand my ground, though my legs trembled. How can you be so cruel? Ethan is innocent. She looked at me with contempt. Innocent or not, he doesn't belong in this family. When I returned home, Mark was holding Ethan in his arms, staring at him with a mix of fear and sadness. Did you believe her? He avoided my eyes and my heart shattered. I couldn't stand that he doubted me. I yelled everything, that I'd found the letter, that his mother was poisoning him, that his obsession was destroying us. That child is your son, Mark, whether you admit it or not. Ethan began babbling again, and as if the universe wanted to push me over the edge, we both heard him say once more, Daddy. But instead of rushing to embrace him, Mark laid the baby in his crib and collapsed against the wall, burying his face in his hands. I saw him trembling, heard his ragged breathing, and in that instant I knew there was something else behind his reaction. I knelt before him. What aren't you telling me? Mark lifted his eyes, and I saw a buried secret within them. When I was 20, they told me I was sterile, that I'd never have children. Silence. The world stopped. My skin prickled. What are you saying? That's why I fainted, because hearing him say daddy was like a knife to my chest. I can't believe he's mine. His voice cracked. I didn't know whether to cry or scream. And why didn't you tell me before? I yelled, my throat raw. Mark buried his head in his hands. I was afraid of losing you. I never thought you'd get pregnant. I thought if you told me you were expecting, it would be proof you cheated. I froze. All this time, he had been carrying a secret that was tearing our family apart, and worst of all, in his silence, he had condemned me, allowed his mother to attack me, and looked at our child with doubts that would haunt him forever. That night, I fell asleep clutching Ethan in my arms, my heart in pieces.